4. Welcome to the Big Boof Bets Get Dat Money podcast.
Let's get that money.
I am Nate Stephenson, and I am joined by...
Big Boof, Steve Scureman. How we doing?
I'm doing really well, Boof. How was your week last week?
You know what, man? It didn't go great, but fortunately, our only lock of the week, the Rams, I laid a little bit extra on them, turned it into a profitable weekend. So overall, I was happy with it.
That's what we like to hear. I had a fantastic week last week, Mr. Boof.
I know you did.
A couple parlays hit. We were, I believe, plus 25 units on that. Yeah, plus 25 units. And for those of you new to betting terminology, a unit is 10% of your bankroll. So if you're, just to keep your math simple, if you're looking at a $100 bankroll for the season, yeah, that would be a $10 bet. So you made $250 last week if you were up plus 25 units. So that's a good week.
Yeah, we like that. That's a good season right there.
That is a great. I'm very happy.
We like that.
Very happy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just give you guys a little bit more of an introduction into how and why we do what we do here on Big Boof Bets. We basically decided to start doing this podcast because we've been doing this for a couple years. Me and Boof have a little strategy session, normally once during the week and once before the Sunday games to just kind of map out our strategy, what we like, what we don't like, and basically we decided, you know what? Why don't we do put a podcast together? Like a lot of our friends wanted to join us, talk ball, and they're like, man, we really love to know your thoughts. So I know speaking for myself, I know Boof's a very similar situation. We both played a lot of ball back in the day, not pro or anything, just high school wannabe superstars. And me personally, I have 17 years of coaching. I coached almost half my life. I love the game, watch a ton of football, have a math background, and I try to do a mismatch of all that together. And I know, Boof, I think you wanted to echo a lot of those sentiments.
Yeah, similar situation. Just it's something we started doing a couple years ago, and we felt we've gotten pretty good at it, so why not share it with the people here?
Absolutely.
So
last week, actually, this season has actually gone fantastic so far. What we basically do is we kind of arbitrarily decided. Actually, this was Boof's idea because I'd normally throw a mishmash of parlays together and then break it down to a couple games I liked and to make sure I at least broke even every week back in the day. And Boof kind of had his favorite top 5 bets that he would do. So it got to the point where we kind of had a perfect marriage where we kind of would steal each other's ideas and make a couple parlays off of each other's stuff and then sometimes like, all right, if I like 1 or 2 games, then we're gonna put a little extra. We're gonna put a little extra on that, and so that's kind of how we come up with the top 5. It was basically Boof's baby, and we've kind of built on it.
Right.
And we basically what we do here is we pick our top 5 every week, and even if there's only 4 games we'll like, we'll say there's only 4 games we'll like, and we'll be like, well, if we have to, then you can put this one in there, but if there's not 5, we'll tell you there's not 5. Last but not least, one last order of housekeeping business here. We do define a lock as something that me and Boof 110% agree upon, and that is in both of our top 5s. So if there's an overlap there, it's a lock.
Yep. And so far, our locks this year are 6-1. My recommendation would be to just, if we tell you something is a lock, bet on all of them individually, bet the same amount every single time. Do that for the whole season, and over the course of the year, you will make money. Nate and I both like to get a little freakier with parlays. If you're into that sort of thing, definitely go ahead and do so and include those in your parlay, because I definitely will be as well.
Agreed. We may joke around.
But if you want to definitely make some money, take our locks, bet them individually, bet the same amount every time all season. You will make at least some money.
Agreed. And
that's what it's all about.
We may joke around and say go all in. I don't ever recommend doing that unless you want to take the risk of your bankroll being something bad happening.
Do not risk anything you're not willing to lose, and bet the same amount every time.
It's called gambling for a reason.
Okay? You are going to lose some. It's part of the gig. It is what it is. But with us, you're going to lose less.
Indeed. And win more.
Indeed.
Get that money.
Let's get that money.
All right.
Let's get moving.
Let's get that money. Without further ado, let's start on this week's slate. We're actually doing the podcast early enough this week so we can actually squeeze the Thursday night
Yeah, we
game
finally
in.
get to include a Thursday game.
Hey, man.
Hallelujah.
Freaking work.
Stupid work getting
finally,
in the way. Getting in the way of
finally
football.
cooperated. Damn life stuff. We got the Eagles +4 at the Packers. Totals 46. I'll keep this very brief because this is not a game I'm a huge fan of. I like the Packers to win. I don't feel great about it. With the Eagles' injuries and their just overall underperformance this year, I'm not a huge fan. I think the Packers have a decent defense this year. You can never discount Aaron Rodgers. I think people credit Aaron Rodgers at times in terms of just thinking he can overcome all the warts on a team. Which, I mean, for $35 million a year, you better overcome all the damn warts on a team.
Amen.
-4 scares me. If you're making me, I will lay the points of the Packers. I will lean Packers on the money line, but I don't feel great about this game. I just don't.
Overall, I agree, but the beauty of Thursday football is this game will definitely make its way into some of my stuff, and if I lose, I just do some more on Sunday, so no big deal.
Great.
I like the Packers -4. To me, they have played 3 teams with good defenses, and we're finally coming up on the Eagles here, who have not been good defensively and are still banged up in the secondary and the defensive line. I think we have a Packers defense that's giving up 11 points a game, and the Eagles might struggle a little bit against that. And the over-under in this is 46. I also kind of like the over in this game again. Green Bay has been playing weaker defenses, so again, I think this again goes towards them being able to score more points. And the Eagles have Alshon Jeffrey back this week, so hopefully that will give them a little boost on offense. Both of those picks, one way or another, will be making their way into some of my stuff. They're not in my top 5 or anything, but again, it's Thursday, so I'm definitely picking this game every week, one way or another, because I get my Sunday redemption either way. And if not, it's great already having one pick in the bag,
got one in the bank,
into the weekend.
baby.
You know what I mean? So I do it. I don't go ham unless I like it, but it's all good.
There will be no ham by me on Thursday.
Yeah, definitely no ham on this one.
There will be no ham by me on
agreed. You know, should be entertaining at the very least.
Indeed. Give us a little cake on Thursday, never hurts.
Next game.
All right, next game, we got moving on to Sundays, starting with the 1 o'clock games. We got the Titans +4 at the Falcons. Totals 45.5. I'm going to warn you, Boof. I'm going to go on a minor rant here.
Rain away.
The Titans have a Marcus Mariota problem.
Oh, do they ever? Been saying that for a while.
He kind of sucks. I mean, I saw some crazy stats when I was doing the research for this game. Do you realize, and this stuff blew me away, forgive me, I'm going to read us a couple stats to you guys here because this is crazy stuff.
No forgiveness needed. I love stats.
In 58 games since being drafted 2nd overall in 2015, he has not thrown a touchdown in 22 of those games. That's almost 40% of his starts. He has not thrown a touchdown.
You don't say.
In almost a third of those starts as well, so 19 games, he has not thrown or ran for a touchdown.
You don't say.
This is a guy who's supposed to be a franchise quarterback.
Quarterback.
My boy. You draft him for his skill set. They don't use him for his skill set. He's a turnover machine. He gets sacked too damn much. I think it's time to call him a bust and a backup. I've turned a new leaf. I'm trying to be an open-minded person when it comes to my athletic dual threat quarterbacks.
Nate, I think you'll find this side of the leaf to be much more profitable.
He sucks, Boof. Having said that, occasionally he might not suck. And that's the thing that makes him a parlay
fucker. Let's just say it, man. He's a parlay fucker. Titans are parlay fuckers. So are the Falcons. I hate this game.
I think the Falcons will win because they are mildly more consistent. But even so, they've been a disappointment this year so far too. I mean, they 13 out of 16 games in the dome this year. They're supposed, their division, honestly, with Breeze getting hurt, is wide open. Cam's hurt. That's wide open. Tampa Bay sucks.
They suck.
Like, the division is there for the taking, Atlanta. Take it. It's right there.
They don't take stuff.
I thought they were going to do good this year, and right now they're trending in the wrong direction for me. But they're playing a team who sucks even more. I will lean Falcons. Don't like the game. We're moving on.
Yeah, enough said. I hate this game. Moving on.
Next game, we got the Patriots -7 at the Bills. Total's 42.5. I've learned a big lesson, a very important lesson in my many years of football handicapping. You do not bet against Bill Belichick. You do not bet against the Patriots. It is a very, very unprofitable scheme.
I think we've all learned that lesson way too many times. And I like the Bills.
Is it? I mean, they're a solid team. They are.
But
they're an improved team. They have an improving young quarterback. He actually has a skill set that tends to give the Patriots problems because being that Belichick's one of his strengths.
He has the same skill set that gives them trouble, and at the same time can lose by 50.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the wild card.
He's that dude. He can look great, and then he can just freaking just turn around, wing one off his back,
laser rocket arm, can run a little bit,
and then throw an interception for a touchdown.
Yeah, so that could go. I don't want any. I hate this game.
Well, see, that's the thing. I do want some of this game.
I hate this.
I actually have this game in my top 5.
Yeah, that's because you're crazy.
I think the Bills are a little bit of a fraudulent 3-0 team. I think they are. I mean, they were losing 16-0 to the Jets in the fourth quarter in week 1. Barely had a miracle comeback, won 17-16. They played the Giants in week 2. The Giants suck. And then in week 3, they were at 14-0 against the Bengals. Josh Allen decided to become bad Josh Allen for a period of time. Gave the Bengals the lead, 17-14, and actually put them in a position where they had to come back and win the game.
Hey, agreed. I mean, that's exactly how it went down.
I mean, it pissed me off because I had the Bills -6. Obviously, I was.
Me too.
I felt really smart for a while, and then I didn't feel smart at all.
Yeah.
So that sucked. Totally screwed over a pick in that game last week. Now, I did the Bills on the money line in a couple of my parlays, so that was profitable. That was very nice. But yeah, I think in the end, the Pats like to carry a big stick and remind you that you're their little bitch. They're going to remind you you're their little bitch, and they're going to make you their bitch. Patriots -7. That is in my top 5 this week.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I've already been on record that I like the Bills, but I like them in a sense that I like them more than everybody else does. I don't think they're like a Super Bowl contender or anything like that. +7 to me is a reasonable number for them to cover. But as Nate said, this isn't something that I'm not betting against Belichick and Brady and the Patriots. Not that I've been burned on that many times. I've already known this for a while. But every time I start to feel like, this could be the week we're going to go against New England, you lose.
Yeah, don't do that.
So just don't do it.
Very bad.
Never do it. Only bet on New England. In this case, I do think the spread is very reasonable for Buffalo to cover. So in that sense, I don't want to bet on New England either. The one bet I find semi-interesting is 42.5 as the over-under. I like the under. I think we have 2 very good defenses here. I really think New England's defense is awesome.
Patriots defense is for real.
New England's missing their fullback, Pat Devlin. I don't know. They're one of the few guys that uses a fullback. It kind of makes their offense unique and something that teams don't really practice against a whole lot anymore. They don't really deal with that sort of physical nature in a team that actually brings a physicality to it anymore.
Dude, it's New England. They'll probably just pull a linebacker
they do.
out and make
New
him a damn
England,
fullback. That's the way they do shit.
They do, but New England has been so good at highlighting a position that nobody else does for so long. They did it with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez, and it was a sneaky way to, even if you have to franchise a guy, we're only paying a tight end, so the number didn't have to be that high.
Yeah.
And it was a clever way for them to stay under the cap. Now it's boy, we have an awesome fullback, which we might as well just be an excellent extra offensive lineman, and they're able to run the football.
Yep.
And Sony Michel goes for 15 touchdowns or whatever last season, and they're still running the ball well this year. So now he's out. I don't know how much that affects the offense. I mean, you don't really think of him as a key cog, so we'll kind of wait and see on that, but it's a sneaky one that might affect the game. I really don't know. End of the day, I personally am not touching it. Nate likes it a lot.
I believe that's our only game in the top 5 that we don't agree with.
That's right. We do have 4 that we agree on. So we got 4 locks this week. Last week we only had 1. So this week we have 4.
Very profitable week coming up this week.
So, let's get that money.
Hey, get that money, baby. That's right. Next game.
Get that money.
We got the Chiefs -6.5.
Speaking of locks.
Oh, hey, man. Oh, yeah.
I don't need to go too low. I love the Chiefs. Obvious reasons.
Chiefs -6.5 at the lines. 54.5. Chiefs all day.
All day, baby.
All day.
Let's go.
You're giving me my man crush number one, soon to be two-time NFL MVP, Mr. Pat Mahomes, in a dome. All that offensive weaponry. The Lions are a fraud. They should be literally 0-3 right now. They should have lost to the Cards after blowing a 24-6 lead. They should have lost to the Chargers after they missed a couple field goals.
And had a touchdown callback.
They should have lost to the Eagles after 18 drop passes and a missed field goal.
And a special teams touchdown.
And a special teams touchdown. Do not believe the hype. The Lions still suck. The Lions are still the Lions. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship and go to the Super Bowl. Hot take. You heard it here first. I love the Chiefs. They might go 16-0. I love them that much. They're going to get Ramsey too, and then it'll be even better. Definitely top 5. One of my locks of the week. Chiefs all day.
I don't know about the last two hot takes as far as Super Bowl and undefeated, but
Chiefs.
Love the Chiefs minus 6.5. They are also in my top 5. That makes them a lock for the week between the two of us. All the reasons Nate said. I mean, the Lions are as much of a fraud as you can get with a undefeated, in quotes, team. And that's all I got to say about it. Chiefs minus 6.5. I agree with all the points Nate made.
Get that money.
Let's get that money.
Get that money. We got the Raiders +7 at the Colts. Total is 45. The Raiders are kind of like...
I hate this game.
Yes. Well, there's that, which is kind of... This is one of those games you look at from the surface, like, I want to love this game. Because, like, the Raiders are borderline bitch status for me right now.
They are and they aren't. They're like a wounded dog kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like at some point, they're going to get somebody.
They're on their set. Right now, they are away from Oakland. Oh, bless you. They are away from Oakland until November. Right now is their second of 7 consecutive games away from Oakland, with of course, a home game, quote unquote, in London.
Yeah, that's an amazing scheduling anomaly.
It is unbelievable.
You don't see that very often.
So I mean, you already have a team that they just got their ass handed to them by Minnesota last week. They're staring down the barrel of 6 more games away from home. I don't like them. The thing that gives both of us pause in this game actually is the Colts have a couple injuries that definitely could affect their. I say could. Hopefully won't, because I'm definitely picking the Colts on the money line here, but the -7, I can't in good confidence tell you to lay that. T.Y. Hilton's a game time decision with the quad. They lost starting safety Malik Hooker. Safeties normally play a big role in covering tight ends, and the Oakland's second best receiver is their tight end Darren Waller, which I do like him a lot. If you haven't watched Hard Knocks, very likable guy.
Crushing it in fantasy, that's for sure.
Very likable guy, good success story. Very happy from people like that get the good things coming to them. But yeah, I don't feel comfortable about this game because of the Colts injuries. I would say as a whole, stay away from that spread. If it drops, which it very well could, anywhere close to -3, buy it down to -3 if you really want to. But otherwise, I'd say stay away if you want to stay safe.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like Brissett. They've been impressive. I think they are a playoff caliber team, meaning the Colts.
Brissett's look good.
But I don't know, a full touchdown, especially with the big question mark right now. I think maybe as you get closer to Sunday and we get some clarity on the T.Y. Hilton situation, pay attention to the line as well that comes with the clarity of that situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even with him in, a touchdown to me is still a lot. Again, like Nate said, I mean, if you could get that down closer to 3, so if you want to buy it down like that's a bet that I think you can feel more comfortable with. But even so, I wouldn't be shocked if the Raiders pulled off a win here. I hate this game, and I definitely don't trust the Raiders enough to take them either with the 7 or money line or any crap like that.
Hell no.
So I'm definitely not going that direction. So for me, this is a stay away kind of game, and I'm ready to move on.
All right, next game, we got the Chargers traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast to play the Dolphins. Total is 44.
You mind reading me off the success recently about that?
All right, so historically speaking, West Coast teams coming east have I believe, 37% cover rate since 2002. But if you only go back to
like 3 years or something?
I'm sorry?
I said if we shrink that to like the
If we
last
swing
3
that
years.
to 2013.
Okay, so that's like 6 years.
Yes, from what we were talking about earlier. If we go back
yeah.
back to 2013,
Right.
it's actually the West Coast teams coming east actually have an over 50%.
So one might say Vegas has been overcompensating for
Vegas
this.
might have been
One might
overcompensating
say.
a little bit. So definitely something that at this point is more perception than fact as far as West Coast teams not coming east, especially in the recent past. I'm personally staying away from this game just because with the Chargers fighting injuries and quite frankly underperformance and high expectations, I just don't see Miami. Miami sucks. Don't get me wrong; they suck.
Yeah, let's document that.
They suck. They're really really bad.
Let's document that.
They actually did look a little bit better for at least a half against.
I want to say that. Can we talk about we're giving credit to a team that still did not cover 20 or hold a team under 30.
I might be mildly sore about the fact that I had the Cowboys minus 14 at the half.
We
against the
looked
Dolphins
good,
last week.
good in quotes for a half.
Got screwed.
That's what we're hanging our hat on here.
Royally by that last week. That was literally the only thing that screwed many parlays for me.
Hey, it was still a good weekend, brother.
Oh, it was a great. Could have been a great weekend.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's always this week. That's why we're doing it. This is what it is.
Indeed.
Wait for this week.
More data, baby.
Plenty of weeks.
More data, but
We haven't even hit the hot part of the year yet.
hey man, we're getting there. But I digress. I'm personally staying away. I don't like this game. I think 16 is a big number. I like the Chargers to win, but just with all the injuries and the East Coast West Coast thing, still gives me a little bit of pause, even if the data says otherwise. Plus, I have a Phillip Rivers bias. I think he's a garbage time hero and just not consistently good. But that's me. I'm sure Boofy's going to disagree with me on that one, and I'm passing on this game on to you, buddy.
And you feeling sure about it is correct. I do disagree with you on this one. I like this game a lot. I like the Chargers minus 16. Again, the West Coast coming to East Coast, it matters a little bit. That's fine. Dolphins have not covered 20 at all this season.
Ain't going to get blown out all year.
Every game. You're assuming. We're assuming this is like a true NFL caliber team. They continue to trade guys away. The guys that are there don't want to be there.
It's true. They might have traded somebody while we were doing this.
Come Sunday, they might trade somebody else away. Let's just keep it real here.
Yeah.
Chargers, I know everybody's, we're a little banged up. We're missing Hunter Henry. We're missing Russell Okung. Who's going to take advantage of Russell Okung being out there? Who really scares you among the Miami front, defensive line and linebackers that might be rushing the quarterback here that's going to take advantage of Russell Okung not being in there? So, I like the Chargers minus 16. I like them a lot. Nate did talk me out of the top 5. I did have him in there earlier. He talked me out of it. But you can put them in 6 or 7 territory. They will be finding their way into a parlay of some sort. Furthermore, I also like the Chargers team total over 30. Miami has given that up to everybody so far, and I don't see any reason why the Chargers don't hit it as well. So that will also be finding its way into some stuff. Neither are in the top 5, to be clear, but I like them a lot. If you're kind of leaning on anything, stick with me, baby. Let's put them in there.
It's really bad that I'm actually tempted to pizza box you on a team that might go in 16.
Oh, I'm down. If you want, I'm down right now. Let's pizza box it. I'm down. You're going to pizza box the Dolphins.
Oh, man. No, I can't do it. I'm tempted to do it.
All right.
Oh, by the way, this is something we definitely missed at the beginning of the show. Pizza box.
Yeah, just to be clear, pizza box is if Nate and I feel strongly on the opposite side of a pick. We just keep track to see who is better at this.
Literally on an old pizza box with Sharpie.
Nowadays, we do it on Excel or whatever. But
yeah,
back in the day, we had it on a pizza box just hanging up.
Super official. It is literally written in ink forever.
Next game.
Next game. It is the Redskins +3 at the G-Men. Total was 47.
Oh, man. Juicy.
Was 47. And I stressed that.
You got that one, right?
I got it at over 47.
Yeah, that is juicy. Woo, is that juicy. Even Vegas thinks it's juicy.
Already
because they've raised it.
Already up to 49 and a half.
And a half. Might as well be 50.
I mean, I still like it. So do
I. It's in my top 5, baby.
I'd buy it now.
I love that.
I'd buy it now. If I had a 6, it'd be 6.
Give it to me.
I like it. I
love this pick.
I don't feel comfortable picking any teams to win because too bad.
Suck.
You're not going to be very profitable if you're picking between two bad teams to win very often. It's generally not a great strategy.
What can we count on?
When they both suck.
Exactly. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't count on either of these guys.
Exactly.
So.
Like,
However,
it's just a matter of who's going to suck.
I do think
less.
both your defenses suck, and I both think both of your offenses are kind of good.
Yes.
So I see some points.
So, it's just basically who's going to suck less, and depending where they're going to suck less at. Hence, we don't like the spread at all for either team, but we love the over. We do think there's going to be points scored in this game. So beyond that, I'm good. There's not really else much more to talk about this game to me. I can move on. Unless there's something else you like here, Chief.
No, nothing else I like. Just to kind of elaborate a little bit. I mean, 49.5. We're talking 27-24 kind of game. That gets you to 51. Obviously, that's above 49.5. As far as Saquon Barkley being out, Saquon Barkley was injured early in the Tampa Bay game.
Yeah, high ankle sprain.
And as a matter of fact, that's when they started to get rolling. I mean, they were down a lot early in that game.
That's the crazy part. They started getting rolling.
Barkley got injured. And not that they started to get rolling precisely when Barkley got injured or anything, but the point is they scored 28 points after Barkley was injured.
Yeah.
So they're obviously capable against a bad defense to still score points.
Well, you said
so I don't see any reason. I mean, obviously it's a small sample size with Daniel Jones. I'm willing to live with it. It is in my top 5. I like the Skins and Giants over 49.5. I wish I got them when Nate got them at 47.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm doing a parlay, I probably will buy it down to 47. That gives you the 27-20 push if it comes to that.
Yep.
So.
No more Trash Manning. Daniel Jones era, baby.
Yeah, baby.
All right, moving on. We got the Browns +7 at the Ravens. Total's 45. About to eat some crow.
Eat it, baby.
You want
chew up.
You want me to chew on this one. So,
you know what, man? Before you even get started, the funny thing is, if they win this game, they have the lead in the division, and all the stuff you're going to talk about is
totally moot.
Exactly.
But I'm still not.
But go ahead and talk, because they're not going to win this game,
yeah.
And everything you're about to say is true.
It's true. I mean, it is true. So one rule of thumb I will offer to all our millions and millions of viewers around the world, or listeners, viewers if you're on YouTube and listening.
True that.
Don't bet drunk.
You're lucky Damian Williams is injured, by the way.
So me and Boof have a couple friendly wagers here. One of which occurred last January when we were watching whatever playoff game. Probably the Patriots beat the Chargers.
It's probably when they beat the Chargers and screwed all my stuff up that week.
And we were all pissing.
And my Chargers' tales of woe began.
I was like, you know what? Give me the Browns to win the division next year. Put a hundo on it. And Boof's like, get me in on that action. And one of his friends is like, get me in on that action. So right now, I could be down 2 hundo.
Cleveland versus the field. Even money, even odds.
I was just like,
oh my God.
So I felt fantastic.
That was when I thought the Steelers weren't horrible.
And then they got OBJ. I'm just like, y'all just might as well pay me right now. Pay me right now. And then the season started. And now the Browns can't block anybody. Freddie Kitchens thinks it's a great idea to run a draw on 4th and 9 to win a game. It's just, oh my God, my confidence is good. Dude, I looked at the schedule. They might go 1-7 by the break. And
that's real talk, baby.
Like when I realized that, I was like, holy shit, this is a really.
Yeah.
I might be losing this bet. But oh my God. So I'm sorry. Tangent aside here. Well, kind of mild tangent, but Browns are +7. It is a division game.
It is.
I mean,
all that being said,
it is a division game.
It is. It's a high number, man. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. For betting +7 matters. Obviously, that's what we're doing.
It's a high number.
For the division, I think the Ravens are going to win this game. Do I think the Ravens are going to cover this game? I'm not confident about that.
Neither am I.
They barely beat. I mean, they only beat a bad Cards team by 6. I felt like they took them a little lightly. But still, bad Cards team at home, only beating them by 6. Rookie quarterback, rookie head coach. So you got that. They backdoor covered the Chiefs. They should have. They were.
They were down by 20.
Yeah, they were. Actually, they were. I think it was 19 or 20 points.
Yeah.
They backdoor covered the Chiefs at -6.5. Totally screwed another one of my picks up last week. Pissed about that. Still pissed about that. But so in the end, I mean, if you're making me, if I don't feel comfortable picking this game with the spread. I would lean Brownies +7 because I do think that's a big number. They played the Rams tough at home, only lost by 7. I do think the Rams are one of two Super Bowl favorites in the NFC. So they have something to hang their hat on in one respect, but in the other respect, they still have the problems that we've outlined. I don't like them to win, but +7, if you're making me, I'd take the +7 with Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm not going to echo all your points, but I pretty much agree with all of it. It's not something where I trust Cleveland enough to cover 7. I also don't trust Baltimore enough to cover 7 as well. So at the end of the day, I don't like this game, and we can move on.
All right, moving on. Next game, we're going to jump ahead to the Seattle-Arizona game because I looked at the games out of order. You're going to go out of order with us for a minute. It's that simple. So we got the Seahawks -5 at Arizona. The total's 48. Just to give you a couple statistics here before we really get into this hot and heavy. Kyler Murray sucked last week. He got sacked 8 times, and the air raid netted 137 passing yards on 51 pass plays. The air raid was non-existent. I would say there was no air, or it was almost airless, or flat, or whatever else other type.
One could call it a fart raid.
Oh, fart raid. That'll work too. It's not been good. Rookie head coach and rookie quarterback. Bad team.
Looking like rookies.
And like it's still a top 5
And again,
team.
we already knew the rest of the team was not great.
Yeah. Now you have the Hawks coming into town pissed off that they literally crapped a game away at home against the Saints. You have Ziggy Ansah back. You have Clowney with a couple games under his belt. Dude, Kyler Murray got sacked 8 times last week. Now he's got Ansah and Clowney to deal with for an entire game. I think that's another recipe for disaster. By the way, side note, prop bet, Clowney over a half a sack. If you can thank me later for that one.
I don't like the payout. You're telling me it's -200, though. I don't like the payout.
I'm
It's not worth it.
I'm theorizing the payout is -200. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm just going based off of what I
got you.
based on a previous prop with Khalil Mack.
Well, pay attention to the payout.
Pay attention to the payout. Bet at your own comfort and your own risk on that one. But
Yeah.
I do feel comfortable that Clowney will get at least 1 sack in this game. I think that's a safe bet. Seahawks are -5. I don't see any reason why they will not cover this. I think they're going to win by a hell of a lot more than that. You have no Patrick Peterson. You have Russell Wilson, who, last time I checked, is better than backup quarterback free agent Kyle Allen of the Panthers, who put 4 TDs on him last week. Russell Wilson, a lot better. Lockett killed it last week. I think the air raid is going to get air raided by the Hawks. Give me -5 all day, and that is in my top 5.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And I think part of the reason why this spread isn't higher is just the Seahawks losing last week. And we'll go over this again in the Saints game. But at the end of the day, Seattle surrendered 2 touchdowns that were a punt return and a fumble that got taken to the house.
That's that bullshit right there.
Yeah, I mean, a Pete Carroll team traditionally is not going to do that.
Rarely happens, yeah. Very rare.
I mean, traditionally they're excellent in
They're the ones
special
who only do it.
teams. Yeah, exactly. It's normally the opposite. I mean, traditionally they're excellent in special teams. They win the turnover battle. I don't see any way that happens this week. I think that helps us with the small number of the spread here. I initially had this as a game I liked, but was not in my top 5. But after discussing with Nate beforehand, I bumped it into my top 5. And I'm in, baby. Seahawks -5. It's in my top 5. Same with Nate. That makes it a lock. Next game.
Lock it in.
Get that money.
Next game, we got the Panthers +4.5 at the Texans. Total is 47.5. Cam looked like crap this year to start. I mean, there was either whether it was he was still recovering from shoulder surgery.
Tampa Bay game on Thursday,
Oh my God.
and we're not converting every single time we get into enemy territory.
Dude, that 9 times.
All we're doing is
in
kicking
enemy-
field
Yep.
goals and missing or making.
Look like crap.
It's terrible
Look like crap. I mean,
for a former MVP.
I think in the minority when he got hurt. I was like, this might not be a bad thing.
You definitely have some more followers at least. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm necessarily one of them, but I don't know if I'm necessarily not one of them either. I don't even know.
I secretly may have said to Booth last week, I was like, you know what? I think I like the Panthers to plus 2.5 this week. I'd buy the 0.5 point, just
Get
a little
up 3,
insurance.
get a little comfort.
So I think I could win this game, man. I said that might be an improvement with Cam out there. He's looked that bad this year. And, again, Kyle Allen, a lot of people may not remember. Granted, it was week 17 against the Saints backups because they were resting their starters for the playoffs, and he put up 30 on them. I mean, he looked pretty good. He looked really good last week. Granted, again, bad competition in the Cardinals.
Trash.
So, I mean, right now, the only data you have is against two bad teams, but you can only play who you're playing. He's 2-0. He's looked really good. And, the Texans have been, to me, a very inconsistent team this year. They hung with the Saints at home. They should have won, quite frankly. They should have beat the Saints in the Saints opener at home. Crapped that game away right at the end.
Agreed.
And then they were losing to the Chargers. I picked them to win that game. They did eventually come back and win, I think in large part because the Chargers had a bunch of injuries. I think a healthy Chargers team still might beat them. And then last week, they barely hung on against Minshew Mania 13-12 when they just missed the two-pointer near the end of the game. The Jaguars did, to go ahead 14-13. So the Texans are one of those teams that they're uber talented, but they're inconsistent as hell. They can look like world beaters one day, and then the next day,
exactly.
they can
They're
barely
all over the
lose
place.
to freaking a rookie 6th-round draft pick from and the Jaguars. So that long-winded explanation, I don't feel comfortable with this game. 4.5 is too much. Even at a field goal, I would if it was a field goal, I'd take the Texans uncomfortably. Carolina's defense is too good. They can make up for mistakes. Kuechly's playing out of his mind. I'm going to pass the game.
Yeah, again, it's just too much unknown. The Texans have been inconsistent. Carolina, again, Kyle Allen. At the end of the day, we're talking about a Saints team that already had everything locked up, so they didn't care. Might as well be a preseason game. And we're beating up on the Cardinals, who suck. So, like Nate said, we play who we plays and who the schedule tells us to play. In that sense, I think you would be very happy with his performance. I don't know, how much do I trust him against the Texans on the road? Probably enough to take +4. I kind of do like it, but
I know it's a sneaky money line.
That's like home run parlay only. I'm not putting that in a whole lot.
There's nothing you can feel safe about.
I can't trust it enough. I'm sorry. Yeah, at the end of the day, that is minimal likeage for Panthers +4. Home run only. Home run parlay only. Moving on
to the Bucks +10 at the Rams. The total is 49. Boof, I'm not going to lie. I literally have in my notes Rams ! They're in my top 5.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I know some people are down on the Rams just for their lack of steamrolling of people so far. So obviously we got a spread of 10 here. We need to do a little bit of steamrolling, but the Bucks suck, and we're going to steamroll.
Dude, the Rams are doing a little bit, taking a little page, I think, out of the San Antonio Spurs book here.
A little load management.
A little load management with Mr. Gurley. He had they had a great year last year, and then obviously he was not the same in the Super Bowl. You want your horses to be ready for the Super Bowl. The NFC right now with the Breeze injury, I really think is down to a 2-horse race.
It is. I do expect Breeze to come back, and I do expect them to be in the race regardless of their, seeding.
Yeah. Right now, though, like I said...
Obviously, they would prefer to play at home, but
yeah.
I still think they're capable of beating anybody.
All right, so, so even if you want to include the Saints in there, so it's the Rams and the Cowboys right now without a healthy Drew Brees on the Saints. Yep. And then if Drew Brees is healthy, yes, definitely the Saints in there. I think it's a 3-horse race for the NFC. I think the Rams have the big picture in mind. I think they're coming home. They're going to start to get rolling here. Tampa Bay's just not that great.
Agreed.
I'm sorry. Jameis Winston's going to throw 3 interceptions probably this game because he had a good game last game. That's what he does.
Yeah, and again, the Giants' defense stinks. They're going to play the Rams. You got to deal with Aaron Donald company.
Yep.
You're going to have people hounding you all game.
Yeah.
Good luck, man. I've already seen this story.
Yep. Moving on. Take the Rams. Lock it in.
Get that money.
All right, next on the docket, we have the Vikings down to +2 at the Bears. Total is 38.5. When I first saw this line, it was the Vikings +2.5, so already people jumping on the Vikings. I do like the Vikings to win this game. I would like it better spread-wise. It was +3, obviously. I always like that insurance with a field goal because two defensive squads, I think it could be a close game. But I definitely give the edge offensively to the Vikes. Dalvin Cook is just blowing it up.
Yeah, he's playing really well. Their running game is a force to be reckoned with.
And then, Bitchke, it hasn't looked very great to start the year. I mean, he got healthy against the Redskins, but the Redskins' defense is awful. We've already said that.
Exactly. It's not the Vikings, dude.
So, I mean, I like the Vikings a lot to win this game. The only thing that gives me a little bit of hesitation is, will Kirk Cousins be good Kirk Cousins, or will Kirk Cousins be blow-up Kirk Cousins? And considering he's facing a good defense, you always open up the possibility of blow-up Kirk Cousins a little bit more. If it wasn't for that, I'd have it in my top 5. I almost did. But the Cousins against the Bears D thing gives me a little bit of pause. But I like it enough to say, I'll definitely put the Vikings +3 and some stuff. I'll buy it a half a point or a point.
I agree with every single thing you said. I like this game at +3, so I will buy it up to that number wherever it ends up on Sunday. Beyond that, it is not in my top 5 for the exact same reason. I'm terrified of Cousins against the Bears. I really don't have anything else to add to it. You hit everything.
I just, ha-ha, Clinton Dix.
Ha-ha. He might score another touchdown.
He had 2 picks against Keenum last week.
He might score another touchdown.
I don't want to hear any ha-has. That's for damn sure. All right, next game.
Lil Mac, baby, look out.
Yeah.
He's scary.
Moving on to the Jags, +3 at Denver. Total was 39.
Hate this game.
Hate it. I went right with it.
Hated it. For all my Living Color fans.
Hated it. I hate this game. Like, pocket statue, as I've been calling him this year, Joe Flacco.
What is his deal?
He's not moving.
Oh my God.
He's not mobile anyway, but now
I hate that.
He's doing this moving.
Brady isn't mobile. He doesn't just take it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Flacco just,
take one step, move.
I mean, just goes to show you.
Help a brother out.
Between that and how good Lamar's doing, I think Baltimore feels pretty damn good about their decision there.
Yeah, amen.
You have that. I mean, dude, they should have beat the Bears easily last week. He had Cortland Sutton twice for 2 touchdowns. He overthrew him out of bounds.
Yep.
Freaking horrible. Combine that, you got Ramsey, who was, air quote, if you could actually see me, having a sore back this week, so probably not playing. AKA I'm pissed off at you, AKA I want traded.
I'm telling you, man, I'm going to try that at work this week. I'm just going to, you know what, man, I got a sore back. I'm gonna sit this one out for a little bit.
I don't really think they'll let you do that.
Either way, it's worth a shot.
You can go for work, but it's comp. That's probably your best bet. But,
I'm saying, I got a sore back.
I think they call that fraud.
It's from my chef's knife. My chef knife is giving me a sore back.
Oh, okay.
I need some money.
Let's see how.
I need some free money.
Let me know how that works out for you. But I
don't see it working as well for me as it is for Jalen.
No, and must be nice
sadly
to get paid millions to do that.
Sadly.
But there's just too much crap.
If it does work for me though, then we can continue to do more shows before the Thursday games, which would be great.
I could have a lot more time to do research. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But you have the Denver motivation of their 0-3, so they should be coming out guns a-blazing. But are they? Dude, you have Chubb and Von Miller with no sacks through 3 games. Doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. So, so you're telling me they weren't motivated at 0-2, now they're going to be motivated at 0-3? I don't see it. I don't feel comfortable with it. If you're making me, I'd take the points with the Jags, but you still have a rookie 6th-round pick going into Denver against an 0-3 team that should be
Mile High is definitely one of the home fields I put more emphasis on.
Absolutely.
Thin air is real.
No doubt about it.
It's unique.
No doubt about it, but it just, we gave the statistic in week 2.
Yeah,
The
22-1.
22-1, weeks 1 and 2.
Yeah, I know.
They didn't win.
They were close, though.
Close.
No one gives a shit in betting, though. You're right.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, baby.
No
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah, I agree.
We hate this game. Stay away. There's nothing good I can tell you that I can feel good about.
I have nothing more to add. I hate this game.
Moving on to Sunday night. We have Dallas minus 2.5 at the Saints. Total's 47. You have no Drew Brees. That last time I checked, that's a minor issue. Hold on, a big issue.
Yeah, exactly. That's a $30 million issue.
Slightly.
We're playing with a $30 million handicap. It is a big deal.
Slightly minor, bigger issue.
Steelers are dealing with the same thing.
Right? Well, at least the Steelers don't have turnover Teddy under center.
Yeah, we got turnover Mason instead.
We're getting ahead of
Or
ourselves.
screen. Maybe we'll call him Screen Mason.
Mason. Messy Mason.
We're getting off topic.
Getting off
I
topic.
apologize.
Yeah, getting off topic. See what you did to me. But
We love the boys. I love the boys.
We do love the boys minus 2.5. I don't care that the Saints have Alvin Kamara, who is awesome, by the way. But, no Drew Brees. So, Dallas can definitely key on Kamara. That definitely helps a lot. Not to mention, the Saints, even though they are playing at home, like they've had very subpar cornerback play to start the year. Lattimore hasn't been anything close to the shutdown corner he's supposed to be. Just a couple quick stats for you on that, which I found very, very interesting. He is actually allowing the 9th highest QB rating at 140.6 among corners with at least 20% of the season snaps, aka just the DBs that play most of the time. And the 4th most yards per snap at 2.77, according to Pro Football Focus, aka his ass is getting roasted a lot. And then Eli Apple has been susceptible to big plays since, ever since New York. And that's been no change this year with him. Now, you add in the fact that Dak's tearing it up to start the year, and Amari Cooper is on a career best.
I was going to say, so we're saying who's going to cover Amari Cooper?
That would be take your pick of shit.
Okay.
Which, by the way, to add to that, Amari Cooper is averaging a career best TD for every 10 targets. That's pretty damn good.
That's
pretty
a
damn
solid
good.
pace.
I like that pace.
I'm down with that.
So
I wish I had him in fantasy.
Yeah, Saints got a lot of gifts in Seattle last week. There is no fumble return touch. There is no punt return touchdown.
Last week was such trash for them.
Yeah, there's no fumble return touchdown.
In a way, I'm thankful because it gives me this beautiful 2.5 line this week.
Beautiful line.
I'm definitely hopping on that right now.
I'm full ball.
Not waiting for it to get above 3. No way.
I'm tempted to full ball sack this line.
Me too, man. Me too.
Expect the Cowboys to win at least by a touchdown in this. 2.5 is a walk in the park. The Cowboys will not be as charitable as the Seahawks were last week. Take the boys, ride the boys. They're in my top 5. Lock them in. I know Boof agrees.
Yeah, I do. I love the boys here. Same reasons Nate is talking about. Furthermore, the over-under is 47. I like the under in this.
It's very interesting, but yeah, I could see that.
To me, we have, despite us talking a little smack on the 2 defensive backs for the Saints, at the end of the day, defensively, both teams as a team have been good on defense. And I don't see any reason why we can't keep that under 47. So I love the boys at minus 2.5. Yeah. That's in the top 5. It's a lock. Under will find its way into some stuff. Not in my top 5, but I do still like it.
Lock it in, baby.
Get that money.
And I believe we have one more game.
We have one more game, the Monday night game, the Monday night sleeper, crapper, just
snoozer,
0-3er. And that,
Stellars, Bengals.
We're 0-3, man. We're 0-3. Come on.
I know.
Come on.
It's so disheartening.
Fire everybody. Sorry, Yinzer Nate came out for a minute. Fire Tomlin. All right, sorry. We're done. Obligatory fire Tomlin. I actually literally got into a quick side note. I actually got into, surprise, a debate on social media with a former classmate, and he was vigorously defending Mike Tomlin. And I finally couldn't take it, anymore. I wrote probably like a dissertation of why we should fire Mike Tomlin. And either he just gave up or I pissed him off. So probably both. But I'll keep it very short. The standard is the standard. He has been below the line. It is time to move in a new direction. I hope we win. I don't like this game at all. The only thing I would mildly entertain betting on this game is the total of 44 because I do think that the offense will perform better at home. 44 was the total actually last week in the loss at San Francisco. In the loss at San Francisco, 24-20. He looked good at home against the Seahawks. Granted, and it was in a half. I could see it maybe going over 44, but again, I feel good about nothing about this game.
I hate this game. I love Tomlin. I hope they win just so he can keep rolling. But I hate this game. Stay away. This is a betting show. And I'm not going to get into my Steelers tales of woe here. So
indeed,
that's all.
That's all for the games, man. Let's get this.
Let's wrap it up.
Little top 5 recap here and favorite bets. My top 5 here. We got the Pats -7, KC -6.5, Hawks -5, Rams -10, Cowboys -2.5.
Anything else you like there, good sir?
Oh,
There was a teaser you were mentioning.
I'll let you lay yours out there first. There, we can get the locks in here first.
All right, fair enough. My top 5. I have the Cowboys -2.5. That is a lock.
Get that money.
Chiefs -6.5. That is a lock.
Get that money.
Rams -10. That is a lock.
Get that money.
Seahawks -5. That is a lock.
Get that money.
And then I got the Redskins and Giants over 49.5. Pro tip, bet that down to 47 if you're using it in a parlay. But as is,
I do like that a lot.
it's in my top 5.
Yeah, I like that a lot as well.
I also like the Rams team total over 30. I like the Chargers team total over 30. I like the Chargers -16. I like the Saints and the Cowboys under 47. And I like the Vikings +2.
I also like the Vikes. That is definitely an honorable mention for me. I'd buy it up to 3 if I'm putting it in any of my parlays, which it will be in some of my parlays. As far as a couple teaser bets, I do like. I will be doing a teaser with KC, Seattle, the Rams, and the Cowboys. You can do a 6 or 7 point teaser there that puts your all lines in a very, very favorable spot. I can't give you the exact odds at the moment. I don't have them in front of me, but I do know that a 3-team teaser of the Chiefs, Seahawks, and Rams would net you about +140. I feel like that's damn near sure things there as far as 3 teams winning, because that gets the Rams down to -3 or -4, depending on what you're doing. Add the Cowboys in there to increase your odds.
So that'd be Chiefs basically on the money line.
Yep. Hawks plus a point or 2.
Seahawks +1 or 2.
Rams down to -3 or -4. Cowboys +3.5 to +4.5.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling really freaky, you can add the Patriots in there too. Get them basically down to minus a point, which is basically win the damn game. So
I think you feel pretty good about that.
I think you feel pretty damn good about that too. You nice little cash out there. Those are some of my favorite. That's definitely some of my favorite bets of the week as far as the safer stuff. As Boof said, we like to get a little freakier and do some long odds stuff. But that's why we break everything down for you and let you decide for yourself there. So, is there anything else you like there, my man?
No, just hey, remember if you have any questions, hit us up on Big Boof Bets. And besides that, good luck and let's get that money.
Get that money.
Get that money.